Have you started a plant-based diet change or want to begin soon, but know that eating more vegetables will be your biggest challenge? Maybe you've been used to meat-heavy plates since growing up and hardly cooked with vegetables. So how do you make vegetables tastier and more appetizing? Let's tackle this challenge together. In this episode, I'll share with you a go-to seasoning ingredient I always use when making roasted vegetables to take them up a notch flavor-wise. In fact, it's so simple you can try it immediately on the next batch of vegetables you put in the oven. Ready? Grab that hot mug of tea or coffee and let's get started. Welcome to the Plant-Based Eating Made Easy podcast. I'm your host, Anna Zinn, plant-based registered dietitian and transition coach. Hi friend, do you want to regain your health with plant-based eating but feel overwhelmed and lost about how to do it? Do you feel it'll be hard to change your meat-heavy diet and impossible with working, running the home, or chasing after the grandkids? If so, you're in the right place. Here you'll find simple strategies, clear nutrition guidance, and practical tips to help you thrive plant-powered with more energy. So if you're ready to ditch the guesswork and transform your health the stress-free way, cozy up now with a hot cup of tea or listen while you walk, and let me show you how doable plant-based eating can be. Let's do this. To start us off, I want to share this feedback I got from Plant Power Life Transformation course student Lori. After she completed the course, she sent me an email. In it, she wrote, I did finally finish the Plant Nourish program several weeks ago. It was excellent. It really provides the nuts and bolts of how to proceed successfully with a plant-based eating approach. Thank you very much for the opportunity to take your program. Thank you for these positive words, Lori. I'm so glad to hear that the PPLT course has helped give you a strong foundation in eating plant-based and greater confidence in how to sustain this lifestyle into the future. Friend, if you want to see your health and life turn around in 2026, now is the best time to start. And I'll show you how to make this transition without it being overwhelming or stressful. Join me inside the Plant Power Life Transformation course and let's take positive steps forward in your health, one step at a time. Remember, you can enjoy 20% off the PPLT course using the voucher code NEWYEAR20 at checkout through January 23rd. But the added bonus gift of a one-to-one private Kickstart coaching session with me will only be available until midnight Eastern Standard Time this Thursday, January 15th. Don't miss it. Get details and enroll at plantnourish.com/PPLT course or go to the link in the show notes. I can't wait to support you more through the course and coaching session. Now, if you're completely new to the world of plant-based foods and struggle to include vegetables on your plate, let me suggest this. Give roasting vegetables a try if you haven't already. It's a great first way to get started adding more vegetables into your meals. Here are just 4 specific advantages to roasting vegetables out of many. First, it's super easy to do. Here are the key steps needed to get your vegetables roasted. Preheat your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit or 218 degrees Celsius. Then cut up the vegetables you want to roast. The next step is to coat them with some aquafaba or canned chickpea liquid instead of oil for an oil-free method. Then add some seasonings onto them. After that, you just need to roast these vegetables in the oven until they are cooked through to your desired texture. Second, it's a great hands-off cooking approach. You just need to pop the trays or a glass bakeware dish into a preheated oven, and then you can let the oven do all the cooking while you get on with other things. Third, you can easily batch cook and make a larger amount at one time. This way, you'll have plenty of roasted vegetables to enjoy over a few days saving you cooking time and energy. A fourth advantage is this. Roasting vegetables can help you enjoy a greater variety of vegetables in your meals. That's because many vegetables can be roasted using the same method with good results. For example, you can roast potatoes, bell peppers, onions, carrots, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cauliflower, rutabaga, and more. But if you've tried roasting vegetables in the past and found them relatively tasteless, let me share with you now one of the key things I do to make them more tasty and flavorful. And it's this. Besides the usual seasonings like salt and ground black pepper you might put on the vegetables before roasting them, try this flavoring hack. Sprinkle on some dried rosemary. It'll take those roasted vegetables up another notch. Simply sprinkle on a teaspoon or two of the dried rosemary on the vegetables before roasting. Feel free to use more if desired and if you are roasting a lot of vegetables at one time. Then, use your hand to rub this and the other seasonings into the vegetables before putting the loaded baking tray into the oven. Of course, if you have some fresh rosemary that you can use, that will work too. Speaking of roasted vegetables, let me share with you a personal story related to this. I have a dear friend who underwent breast cancer surgery in the fall. To help support her, a church meal train schedule was set up to help her and her family of 4 during the post-operation recovery period. I signed up to participate, so on my designated date, I made a couple of plant-based dishes. This was soon after she had returned from the hospital. Although this family ate a regular diet, they were open to trying vegan and plant-based dishes. So that day, I made a veggie and bean one-pot lasagna soup, crispy baked tofu pieces, roasted vegetables, and cornbread muffins. I didn't know it at the time, but it ended up being enough for them for nearly 2 dinner meals, and she had her in-laws staying with them then too. The best part, though, was the feedback I received. That evening, my friend sent me a written message with these words. Thank you for the delicious vegetable lasagna and roasted vegetables. You also went way out of your way with the cornbread muffins and the tofu. It was all so delicious. I was so happy to hear her family enjoyed this meal. Then the next day, I received this additional text message. My friend wrote, the girls loved your meal too and ate it all up. You gave a ton of food. We have enough veggie lasagna for dinner tonight too. We will just add a side salad to the mix. Then my friend asked me, just wondering what seasoning you put on the roasted vegetables. When I replied and told her the seasonings I used, she told me, well, they were very tasty. I've roasted veggies before, but I think the rosemary puts them over the top. So friend, if you haven't tried it before, add some dried or fresh rosemary to your vegetables the next time you roast them. So today I gave you a flavoring hack you can use to up-level the roasted vegetables you make, whether this is the 10th time you're making them or the first time. And it's this. Try rubbing in some dried rosemary or fresh rosemary to your vegetables the next time you roast them. Rosemary pairs especially well with potatoes, I find. And that will be your action step for this week or the week ahead. Give this a try, and roasted vegetables might just become your next favorite side dish. For you and possibly the rest of your family, too. Now, there's a little more to this fun story. A few days later, when I went to pick up my son after school, I bumped into my friend and her husband. They thanked me again for the meal I had provided. Then her younger daughter, who was about 5.5 years old, came over. Our children are in the same kindergarten class. She overheard us chatting about the meal and gave me a thumbs up hand sign. I was a little confused and didn't understand what this meant at first. But then her mom explained that in kindergarten they were being taught to give this thumbs up sign if something was good. So I asked her daughter, "Was it good?" She said yes. Then, because I was curious, I asked her, "Which dish was your favorite? Was it the lasagna, roasted vegetables, baked tofu, or cornbread muffins?" And without hesitation, she said immediately, "All of it." Then the mom said, "Well, they ate it all up." I was so delighted to hear this. I hope this story encourages you to know that there are indeed tasty plant-based dishes that can be easily made, which both you and your family can enjoy. Friend, if you want to build a stronger, healthier body with more energy in 2026, I want to help you reach that through a plant-powered lifestyle. And if you need clear guidance and support to make this diet transition happen, join me inside the online Plant Powered Life Transformation course. I'll show you how to make this lifestyle change in an enjoyable and stress-free way. When you enroll, don't forget to use the New Year's Savings Voucher code NEWYEAR20 to get 20% off the course fee. This will only be valid until January 23rd. And make sure to join by midnight January 15th if you want an exclusive bonus private coaching session with me. We'll use that session to strategize and help you kick off your diet transition so you can have more confidence and greater success making this lifestyle change. Let's build your best health together in 2026. Learn more at plantnourish.com/PPLT course or see the link in the show notes. Thank you for listening to the Plant-Based Eating Made Easy podcast. If this podcast has helped you, please rate and leave a written review on the Apple Podcast app or iTunes to let me know. Nothing will lift me up more than to read your review and see how this podcast has made a difference in your life. I also pick reviews to read on this show, so your review could be one of them. Come connect with me in my free Facebook community group, Beginners for Plant-Based Diet Success. Just go to bit.ly/PB Diet Success. That's bit.ly/PB Diet Success. You can also subscribe and follow this podcast to get notified when a new episode goes live. Signing off now, this is Anna, and I wish you the best health always.